guys, it's Sam, and this is my spoilery gush for House of Salt and Sorrows by Erin A Craig. As I said, this video will have spoilers in it, so if you have not read this book, I will link my spoiler-free review on the screen. So as I mentioned in my review, like the whole atmosphere of this story was like creepy from the beginning in a way that I could handle, because as you guys probably know if you're not new here, I don't like horror. I don't like scary. I can't do like full-blown scary. Like this is as scary as I could get, but I liked that there was like a level of eeriness throughout, but like we would have moments of like creepy ghost stuff and then it would kind of like lull and go away to a point that like I could read it because it wasn't this like constant fear of jump scares, like any of that kind of stuff. I think some of the most bothersome stuff actually was when she was starting to realize and like see things, and the scene with the sea turtle at the ball where like it was rotting, that was bad. But like otherwise I was pretty okay with a lot of the stuff. But kind of like I said in my review, I didn't know like who the bad guy was like at all. Like I did not think it was actually the stepmother. Like, the stepmother was like such the obvious choice, but Erin A Craig did such a great job of like putting your attention away from the stepmother like constantly that I was like, oh, I don't think it's her. Like I never suspected until like the very end. So yeah, like first when she sort of suspected like the butler guy, I was like, no, that's like definitely a red herring. And then I always felt some unease about like Cassius, her like guy. So like there was always that because I thought they were like too immediately attracted to each other. So I was like, I think that like I don't buy that. So I was always kind of leery of him. And then her sister, which one? The like, oh gosh, I'm forgetting her name. Was it Camille or something? The like sister like one stage up from her. I kind of was suspecting her for a while because she was such a bitch at some points. And I was like, why is she like this? So I thought it was her for like the longest time. But I was like, it doesn't make sense that she'd be killing her sisters. Like what reason would she have to kill, like, especially when the younger sisters died? I was like, what reasoning is there? So I kind of was like, I don't think it's that. So I just could not figure out like who the actual villain was. So when we got to the end and they start to realize like, well, we revealed that Cassius was like a half god, and then I was like, was he? But anyway, like that was fine, that worked out. But then when you saw that it was like the stepmom, I was like, oh my god. But even so, like that part at the end, I would say like so much of this was so strong, but the ending is what really bumped it down like a star for me, because I think it could have been a 5-star book for me potentially, because I did think it was really well done. But the ending of it being like, well, I liked the ending of them all actually just dreaming the whole time, even though I didn't quite understand like how that dream part happened as far as like them not realizing that they had fallen asleep, but whatever, like that was fine. But then like the nightmare goddess being connected to the trickster god, like that quite didn't make, like it didn't quite make sense to me, where I was like, why would the nightmare goddess like work with the trickster god? Why is she trying to kill everybody? What is going on? Like why would she care? I guess just like a god that likes chaos is just like fine with that, so I guess that makes sense. But that part was like a little eh. And then as far as the trickster god, I was like, that whole thing at the very end, when we didn't really have a lot of the gods throughout, like we had mentions of them and then all of a sudden like they're front and center involved, and like all of that was just described as like the stepmom was dying of like with this like half trickster baby that was like a creature, and like that was the ending and like what she got out of it. Like kind of cool, but I think it was so extreme that I like didn't quite love that ending. I was just kind of like, that is really extreme. Okay, because I kind of would have preferred if it really was like a ghost story. The fact that this was all an illusion, I was kind of like I kind of would have liked the sisters to be like warning her or something. But obviously that's not what they were doing anyway. They were like trying to scare her and stuff, but like I think I would have liked that twist a little bit more than this twist. But I think just the way that it wrapped up was too much right there at the end. But I do like that like I didn't know throughout like what was happening. And oh, even the stuff with like Fisher, so I was like, okay, so Fisher was like dead the whole time? Like even when he confessed like his love to her, like that was just him dead, like in this animated gore. Like that was also really gross when she like came out through him. Ugh. Like that was disgusting. But like he was dead the whole time. So I think the other thing too is the ending didn't really quite explain like, were the other girls, the 3 that died before, well I guess the 2 that died before Eulalie, which is the most recent one, before the twins died, or two of the triplets, anyway. So I was like, were those just accidents? Like truly? Were those just accidents? Because like the mom dying was because of the stepmom, but were those 2 girls just accidents? Or did she help kill them too? Like that wasn't really clear, I don't think, because the other girls were killed using Fisher, but the rest of them weren't. I wasn't quite sure about that. So I think the fact that there was like too many loose ends for me was like a little and then I didn't love the like romance. I sort of pulled for them at some point when we found out that he wasn't actually bad, but then like by the end when he's like, I got my wish and it was you and we wished, you know, to come back and so I got to come back, and I was like, you're the son of a goddess. You probably shouldn't have died from like fire explosion, and like Winter Mom just have let you come back without like people wishing you back. I don't know, I just feel like that was like a little so that stuff was like not as strong, but overall really liked this, like really in an unexpected way, like just spooky enough, like on the list of books, like along with like Saw Kill Girls, it's like just enough horror. I was in a good place headspace wise to read it, and other times in my life it might not have been, but like I was, so it was okay. So I end up really enjoying this. So let me know your thoughts on House of Salt and Sorrows. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.